You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous!
A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. Wednesday Night himself, sitting right next to my NXT Championship, Kyle Gagliardi, and I am always joined by my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle? Now, we are live on Twitter.
We are.
And people saw me do the pump handle. I do it every episode.
He does it every single time. That is your confirmed 34th time doing that.
Yes. Now, I'm feeling good. 34 was my number in college, so this
vibes.
This is a two-belt weekend for Tucky right here.
And we know one of our Ryan Bogus commenting live. We will interact with the people that are on the live stream. Ryan Bogus goes, "Wish I didn't see that." No,
he says that, but
this is how the magic happens right here.
Yes.
You're getting a behind-the-scenes look. But, hey, Tucky, what you been up to lately? School's back in session?
School's back in session, and it's going well. So life is good, doing baseball, holding down the fort while my wife is on vacation.
She's still away?
Yeah, she comes back Saturday, so life is good.
Oh, yeah, I bet you're looking forward to her being back. What have you been eating lately? I know
Nothing.
Takeout, Taco Bell?
Nothing, dude. I eat breakfast, and that's it.
Really?
You don't lose 33 pounds on accident, brother.
You've been running?
Come on.
You got your big water jug right here?
Yep.
That's the thing people don't realize. If you want to lose weight, just drink a lot of water.
Yeah, and, pay attention to your calories sometimes. It's hard to go to fast food and hit under 1,200 calories, but if that's your daily limit like mine right now, it's tough.
My last night order at McDonald's after I attended the Leroy World Series was 6-piece nugget, which they shorted me one, by the way, McDonald's. I'm really pissed.
Yep.
When you get 5 and you're looking for 6, not good.
Great.
No.
Nope.
Then I got one of those little hamburgers. Yeah. Probably, 400 calories in that. A McChicken.
Yeah.
And a medium fry.
Okay. There's some cows there.
You think?
Yeah.
What do you think approximately I'm working with?
That's
there?
over 900.
Okay. as long as I'm under 1,000 for my dinners, I can live with it. Because I'm usually
Oh, that was your dinner. That wasn't
I'm a 2-meal guy.
Okay.
I'm usually a banana or something for breakfast. I guess that's not a meal.
That's a piece.
Yeah. Or a granola bar. And then I go to lunch and dinner.
Here we go.
It.
There you go.
That's how I operate. But yeah, with me, nothing much going on in my life, but I've been watching a lot of wrestling. Hey, guess what? We're watching a lot of wrestling. Who would have thought?
A big shocker. Speaking of wrestling, we've got SmackDown tomorrow, and you and I could be.
We applied. So if you don't know what we're talking about, the WWE Thunderdome is finally happening tomorrow on Friday for SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Right when that tweet went, I was signed up. Literally, I think 8 minutes after that tweet was sent. I don't know how soon you jumped on that.
I did it when you sent the text to me. So
that was about the same time.
Okay.
Then. So you jumped on the opportunity. I know a lot of people wanted to, but it seemed like a first come, first served kind of thing. You know? Because only a certain amount of people can register to be a part of it. And from my knowledge it's a rotating thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you're scheduled
you're not gonna be
in
there the whole time. Okay,
I think you have either a 15 to 30 minute slot, and that's how long you're going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you see pictures of it on social media?
Nope.
Looked pretty cool. Like Ryan Vogus said, it looks like 5,000 people could make it on the screen, so you guys should be good. There was a lot of space. It surrounds the entire ring. It kind of looked like you were wrestling in front of a video game crowd.
Oh, cool.
Without real people on the screen. So it looked pretty cool. That's circulating on Twitter right now. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into our predictions, that we are a part of the Overtime Sports Network at _OTSN on Twitter and Instagram. And where can you find them on the interwebs, Tuck?
OTSportsNetwork.com. And in many episodes past, we said there was quiet. But right now, the blog is picking up. We've added some bloggers. We've got some content rolling through. So still looking, and not actively looking, but we do have room on the bus if you'd like to join.
I don't understand the bashing I'm getting right now on our Twitter live stream. Are you witnessing it?
Yeah, you are definitely not the favorite. Obviously, Tucker is. I'm not surprised by it, but
I mean, and then Ian just jumped in. So Erica Marini starts boycotting you forever, Kyle. Ryan Vogus says he's on board with it. And then Ian says he's getting on board.
Hashtag that's Tuck Piece, baby. So welcome to the Over on the Mark Wrestling Preview. I'm Jim Tucker, and I'm going to be steering the ship here, apparently, because Gag sucks.
I don't suck, because this right here is mine.
Yeah.
I'm the champion, NXT champion. That right there is Ryan Vogus's OTM World Championship.
Right.
Thoughts?
Yeah, but some of the best wrestlers in the industry don't need titles to be relevant, and I think I might be in that category. The Fiend doesn't need a title for people to like the Fiend.
That's true.
Otis, I'm carrying around a briefcase. I'm a chubby boy, so.
That's the thing. No, you're not. You're losing weight.
Former husky boy, that's
you
true.
You can't refer to yourself as a chubby boy anymore.
That's nice. That's a good feeling.
Skinny boy.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
There you go. So, also, for those watching us right now, we're at Pot on the Mark, but if you're not watching live and you're listening to this at a later time, that is where you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow Tucker at JimTuck89, and you can give me a follow at Too Sweet Kyle.
Too sweet.
And ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Not
Not John Cena's return. Not the main roster either. We're getting to the NXT TakeOver predictions.
Yes.
Both of us rocking the Undisputed Era tees.
Yeah.
Did you buy that one, or was that part of a crate?
This is I bought it.
Oh, really? I never
Yes.
even seen that one.
Yeah. I have over 50 wrestling shirts. Yeah. It's a problem.
I was just showing off on the OTM pre-show my closet of wrestling shirts.
Yeah.
It doesn't compare to what you got working for.
Well, Pro Wrestling Crate twice a month. You got to love it.
When's the next unboxing for that?
New crate just shipped.
Keep an eye out for that. But ladies and gentlemen, NXT TakeOver 30 will be this Saturday. My NXT Championship to my left will be on the line. This predictions contest is just between us two right here. We are the ones that do NXT and AEW. The main roster is for us and the listeners, but we're starting off here with the kickoff match. I think is this the first time NXT TakeOver's had a kickoff match?
It could be.
I think it is.
Is this one part of the predictions? Since it's on the show.
It means something.
Okay.
Because the number one contendership's on the line here between Breezango, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan versus Legado del Fantasma. Who do you like in this one? We know the current champions right now is Imperium, a heel group in NXT. Does it make sense for the babyface team of Breezango to pick it up, or is it maybe Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan?
I like Legado del Fantasma.
Oh.
I think they're getting hot. I don't like the pairing in the title, but I just think they have the most heat right now.
They are being featured a lot on television with Santos Escobar, the Cruiserweight champion, which is it's kind of surprising he doesn't have a match. He's kind of doing a thing right now on NXT with Isaiah Swerve Scott. But he doesn't have a match himself, but Legado del Fantasma does. Is that the pick you're rolling with? Is that?
Yep, I already have it typed in, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't expect you to go that route because the way I look at it is we have the heel champions in Imperium.
Yeah.
Naturally, you have a babyface team go up against them, but there have been times where heel goes against a heel and face goes against a face. But I'm in agreement with Ryan Vogus in the chat. I am going with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch to pick up the victory. Breezango just had their opportunity at the NXT Championship. They came up unsuccessful, so it wouldn't make sense for them to get another opportunity just after failing. Mm-hmm. The only face team left is the 1-2 of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Okay, 1-0 Tuck Piece.
You really are that confident in that pick?
Nope.
I was going to say, out of all the matches, that's the one that you're really feeling good about?
That's a no.
Well, but Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan have been featured on TV.
That's true.
Granted, they're not together or winning. But
yeah. They're not afraid to put random people together and have them go either, so.
Well, they're not really that random. They've been a team now for a little bit of time, actually. They had, I think, a title match at one of the takeovers in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. We might have even been there for one of them a couple years ago. So you weren't there, but Ryan Vogus maybe can throw him up. Erica says, throw him up. You got to throw up the 2.
Why?
The 1-2 that Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan do? Come on.
I didn't pick them.
All right,
why would I?
Now can you boycott Tuck, please? Jesus Christ, the guy won't even have any fun with me. Next matchup here on NXT TakeOver is one that was just added, it seems like, this morning. Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor. Did you watch NXT last night?
I did.
So you know why this match came about?
Yes, and I would love for you to tell the fans that.
So we had a match between Finn Balor and the Velveteen Dream to get into that ladder match for the North American Championship, and towards the end of that one, Timothy Thatcher got involved because Finn actually did attack Thatcher previously a couple weeks prior. Mm-hmm. He gets his retribution there. Oh, retribution? What? All right, they're not here. We're good. We're in the clear.
I thought the lights might have flickered a little bit, but
wouldn't you shit yourself if the lights did flicker?
I would leave.
We'll see ya. Mm-hmm. So we got Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor here. Nothing's really on the line. This is kind of just a grudge feud. You went first last time, so I'll go first here. Finn Balor, just because if he loses, where do you go with Finn after that?
That's my only reason as well. How many losses are you going to pin the guy after sending him down to NXT? We're sending him over to NXT. I think that would be how they phrased it.
Yes, but it's a parallel movement.
I am also going Balor just because I think he's going to need a win. For what? Like, where is he at, you know?
That's what I tweeted a couple weeks ago, and then when I saw that finish in the Dream going over Finn Balor last night, I'm just like, what was our reasoning for bringing him to NXT if we're just going to put over other guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's an extraordinary talent you got in Finn Balor. You might as well utilize him. I'm just saying. So we both are going with Finn here in that matchups, which will lead us here to the next matchup on the Takeover card. NXT North American Championship ladder match between 5 guys. The Velveteen Dream, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, the thick boy, and Cameron Grimes. Who you like in this one? This one's tough, but I think I know where your head's at. I'm going to see if I get this right. The floor is yours. I think I know where your head's at.
I got to make sure I have all my names here. Bronson Reed is the thick boy, right?
Thick boy, yeah, Bronson Reed. I know a lot of people watching are a fan of Bronson Reed. I personally, I don't know.
This could kill me, or it could send me over. I'm going with Cameron Grimes.
Yes, I called it. Yep. I called it in my head.
I love him. I like him.
That's your guy.
I thought early on in the Cameron Grimes, as he was getting some time, I thought it was kind of very generic, vanilla, gimmicky. But I'm kind of in.
And it even makes sense for a heel to win because it's just the chase is easier for a babyface going after a guy. Yeah. I was between 2 people. Cameron Grimes was one of them.
But you're picking Damian Priest.
We just finished each other's sandwiches. Sentence. I'm going with Damian Priest in this one. I've been a day one Damian Priest guy. We've talked about him on the show plenty.
Yep.
I've always seen the potential in him, and I think it's finally the gimmick starting to make a little sense. I'm glad he kind of ditched the posse that he was riding around with. That was weird.
For what?
I didn't understand that. But now it's a more serious, that Archer kind of thing going on. Like I said, I think a heel makes the most sense coming out of it. And the way I look at it is Velveteen Dream is in hot water right now. I don't think they're going to put the strap on him. That could be too controversial.
Yeah, but Triple H seems to think he's clear.
So what do you think about that? Is it too soon to put a guy like that? And we know nothing is proven right now, but there are the accusations out them.
I do think it is a little too soon, especially when you have the amount of talent that you do. You don't need him to be a champion for your company to be relevant the way some companies might need their one guy. So I don't think it's going to hurt him.
No, and I don't think he wins. And then Damian Priest, that was my second option just because of a heel. Johnny Gargano's already had the belt before. I think he can still do other things. Also, a thing to keep an eye on, too, with guys like Gargano, there's rumors going around that the WWE draft is coming back.
Yeah.
I could see Gargano finally making that step to Raw or SmackDown. Not because he maybe wants to, but because what else is he going to do in NXT,
Right.
So then it really just came down to Bronson Reed and Damian Priest. And I like Damian Priest more, and I think it makes the most sense. He's had great matches on takeovers before. It's not like he's shy to the spotlight.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going with Damian Priest. You're going with Cameron Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
Watch, it's going to be like Johnny Gargano or something stupid.
A mystery opponent.
Don't say that.
Announced on Saturday.
But, hey, ladder matches in NXT are always bangers.
Yep.
So that definitely would be a good one, as will this one. The NXT Women's Championship matchup between the challenger Dakota Kai versus the champion Io Shirai. Did I go first last time? You went first? Who's up first? You went first, so that means I'm up. This seems like the easiest pick of the weekend for me. If you're looking at the TakeOver card and you're looking at the SummerSlam, This is one where I can throw all my chips into the middle and say that Io Shirai is going to retain her NXT Women's Championship. It's not a knock on Dakota Kai because I think she's great. It's just Io Shirai's here right now. Dakota Kai's right there. We got to meet somewhere. It's Io Shirai.
I agree. I'm going with Io Shirai for much of the same reasons. I don't see a way that Dakota Kai can win unless Melanie Martinez gets involved. But I don't.
You mean what's her name? Jeez, I'm blanking on her
Gonzalez?
name. Raquel Gonzalez. There
bad.
it is. Yeah, good job.
Melanie Martinez is for who?
You're thinking of Martinez. That's a part of the Robert Stone brand.
Oh yeah, that's not the same.
No, not at all.
I still don't think it's very plausible, so I'm going to go with Io Shirai as well.
Yeah, that pick seemed very unanimous throughout the board right there. So we're going to move on quick from that one. But once again, going to be a good match.
Should be.
That's for sure. The next one has got the social media world talking. We got Adam Cole, baby, versus Pat McAfee, the former All-Pro punter in the NFL, is making his in-ring debut here in NXT. And I want to talk about his promo last night first. We know Pat can talk. You know, he hosts his own radio show. He's done podcasts. He was a part of Barstool Sports. So we knew he had that ability. Mm-hmm. But the promo that he cut last night on NXT, better than 80% of the roster.
Yeah, he cares about it. The thing that he's got going for him is he's been an athlete at the highest level. He knows what it takes to prepare. He knows, and he likes wrestling, right? I don't know that he's as diehard as some people think that he has been, but he's interested in the craft. I could see him doing very well tomorrow. Saturday and in the future. So
you're expecting more from Pat in the ring. Like this isn't going to just be someone off.
This will not be his only time. I don't think.
I agree with you. And
I'm kind of predicting a trilogy, honestly.
I was going to say that. I don't think this is just the start of Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee.
I think so too.
And it's a way to organically kind of turn all the undisputed babyface. Mm-hmm. They've had their multiple year run as heels with all the titles, but why don't we turn them face for a little bit? If you don't have anything for them on the main roster, just turn them babyface in NXT and see what can happen.
Yep.
But who you rolling with in this one? Now it's time to make a decision. If you think it's going to be a trilogy, it makes this pick very interesting.
I'm going with Adam Cole in the first one because you have the 2 week. The Pat McAfee has a few weeks, and then give me some time to prepare. They go at it again in a few months.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee wins that one, and then you see where you're at in that third one, depending on Pat McAfee's stock, where he's at in the company and what you think he actually projects. Because I don't think McAfee wins the trilogy if there's not a rocket to be strapped to his back. And I don't know how long he'll do it if he wants to.
Like he referenced in the promo, too. He's like, that being a wrestler would just be one of the 8 things that I do very well.
Yeah, I've made $1 million in 7 different things.
Yeah, so does him winning, make sense? Kind of. But only, like you were saying, if we eventually are going to maybe put Pat into, like, a title scene, which I don't think quite yet. We have to see what happens here on Saturday, but I also am going to go with Adam Cole.
The other thing that needs to happen, the money's going to have to be there for him to put his body on the line and make sacrifices as an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah, and Pat McAfee, he's got his own show. He's sponsored by FanDuel. He's getting plenty of money.
Oh, yeah.
But we do have a question here from Ian. He said, do you guys think Adam Cole is pulled up to the main roster by the end of 2021? I think he meant 2020. So we'll go with the fact that he said 2020.
I say no to 2020. I say yes to 21.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense, like what we were saying, Ian. Like if you're going with the face run that to the end of 2020. Then when the Royal Rumble comes around, then we can organically start, bringing all them up. No, he meant 2021.
He meant 2021. Ian, what do you think? I wonder what he thinks, if he's going to sit or stay. I think there is a lot of intrigue to see what that would look like at the main roster. And with live shows definitely happening in 2021, we know that's going to happen.
Do we?
Nope.
I was going to say, are we 100% sure? Because we're already here. We're getting close to September.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. Tough times right here. But, yeah, I'm going with Adam Cole, as are you. But Wouldn't be surprised if Pat won.
I typed in Cole before I even typed in the match. Cole for both of us. So
okay, fair enough. So that leads us to the main event of NXT TakeOver 30, the NXT Championship match between the Limitless Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. And the way I look at this is I don't think either guy really deserves to lose.
I know,
and that's what makes this very difficult. I think the main event here on TakeOver and the main event at SummerSlam, it's a toss-up.
Yep.
It really could go either way. And I have to go first, don't I?
Yep.
I don't feel too good about it, but I am going to go with a new NXT champion in Karrion Kross. I wouldn't be surprised if they did some like double count out or something to get by to the next show, but I think that's too boring.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have seen the trajectory that they put Kross on since he's debuted, and it's just an uphill climb right now.
Yeah.
If he loses to Keith Lee, especially if he loses clean, I think that kills every momentum you had built for him and Scarlett. So with that being said, Karrion Kross makes sense to me, and then maybe after that, maybe Keith Lee is on the call-up with the WWE draft potentially looming. So I'm going with Karrion Kross, the new NXT champion. What about you, Tucky?
Okay, well, I was going to pick Karrion Kross as well. So now my conversation is, do I want to stick with that, or do I want to do...
What do we have, one different pick, and it's the pre-show?
Pre-show...
That's it.
And the ladder match.
Oh, okay. So you could go with Karrion Kross here.
I like Karrion Kross winning because Keith Lee either goes up to the main roster or it's easier to charge up the babyface in his return. Bogus would like to put the belt on Scarlett.
Of course he would.
And that's the piece that I think Keith Lee's going to have to struggle to overcome, especially in this first go-round.
Does Mia Yim get involved?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Or you just don't want it? Both.
Both.
Okay, fair enough. They were showcasing Mia Yim a little bit in this feud, but I tell you what, that video package they put together, did you watch that video package last night?
I probably
just, I tell you what,
was not present.
The WWE puts together some of the best hype videos.
Jack Mel just joined us. Jack_Mel. I would like you to pick my winner between Karrion Kross and Keith Lee. Leave that in the comments.
What are the odds that he actually is staying here watching the live stream right now?
No clue. I'm hoping that he'll leave me a comment.
You're telling me a random jabroni from the internet you're going to let do your picks when
Raw
this
does.
is on the line?
Raw does. WWE does.
Jack Mel's not going to make your pick. I think Ryan Vogus or whoever responds first has to make it. I think that's only fair.
No, because they're going to say some dumb stuff.
No, they don't have to say dumb stuff.
He already said put the belt on Scarlett, so that's a vote for Kross.
I am going with Karrion Kross. Tuck, I need your pick here. The NXT Championship match. I know it's virtually a coin flip. Please, give me a response. Who is going to walk out of NXT TakeOver 30 with the belt?
Keith Lee.
You just want to be different, didn't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in that pick?
Actually, like an 8. I feel good about it because Keith Lee's a great champion.
Yes.
And then you can make Karrion Kross worse, like more aggressive, like a fireball in a contract signing, whatever. It could get worse and
could get worse than fire.
Put
Maybe
the mean
death.
streak. Yeah, you know.
A lot
Next
of people,
time he opens the contract thing, like he could get splashed with Corona droplets. I don't know.
All right. I think a lot of people are going to be mad if Keith Lee loses. You know, there's always those people that be like, oh my God, he deserved a long reign. But there's just some times when certain people have different kinds of momentum and you have to strike while that iron's hot.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like what The Fiend was when he first started out. You know, people got mad when he didn't beat Seth Rollins that first time through. And Seth hit him with a million curb stomps. Kind of the same situation here. I think you strike with Karrion Kross, but you are going with Keith Lee, which means we differ on 3 matches here for NXT TakeOver.
And you will bask in my glory as I hoist that NXT title, baby.
Are you actually going to take this if
you
win?
Lee 43567 just joined. Confirmed. Keith Lee will retain. Thank you.
It's a sign from the wrestling gods.
Yep.
And it is official. That concludes our NXT TakeOver predictions, which of course takes us to our SummerSlam predictions. We do this competition with us 2 and 2 other men that are probably watching right now. Ryan Vogus, who is in the chat, That is his championship belt right there. He is the possessor of that. And Mikey Wilson from the Region Degenerates podcast also does his picks with us. And both of them, Tuck, sent them in already. So we know. We got the advantage.
Yeah.
It's usually the other way around.
I don't have the dock open.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's start things off here with a championship match. What do you think?
Okay.
United States Championship is on the line. The champion, Apollo Crews, will be taking on MVP. The other two are on the same wavelength multiple times on this show. Starting with this one, they are going with a new United States champion, MVP.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on this matchup here between Crews and MVP? The second time we're seeing this.
I think Crews is going to retain, and I think he's going to retain so they can put him on his way to Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at. So
that's 100% what I was going to say. Bobby Lashley's the next person in line, and MVP. We know he did just sign a new deal.
Yeah,
which good for him.
Sure,
he deserves it, but he doesn't need a belt.
And that doesn't mean it's going to be a physical deal where he's defending a title week in and week out either. And the thing that makes me more comfortable with my pick is that Mikey actually picked MVP. So I feel like I'm in safe ground by picking Apollo Crews.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Hey, we can't bash him. Remember, he doesn't like it when we bash him on the show.
No, we can on the previews as long as we're right.
Okay, that's fair. So those two are going with MVP. You're going with Apollo Crews.
Yep.
And I myself am going with Apollo Crews as well. Just like you said, Bobby Lashley seems to be the next guy in line for Apollo. I personally still am not feeling Apollo Crews.
No, I thought we were going to get more. Ryan Vogus says Cedric turns on Apollo and joins the Hurt Business. I do like that angle. Could be.
Or does he just wait till after the match and then acts like, or maybe he assists Apollo from the Hurt Business, and then after the match, Cedric makes an attack. That's possible, too.
Could be.
I don't hate that idea whatsoever, but I'm still going to stick with the fact that I believe Apollo Crews will retain his United States Championship. So we're on the same page to start off here on SummerSlam.
Yep.
And the other two jabrones, they're on the same page. Mm-hmm. Next matchup here is a hair versus hair match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And I think this feud has been fantastic. I don't know about you.
I do. It's actually given us more Sonya Deville and kind of developed her character a little bit more. Mandy didn't really need a ton because she was rocking with Otis.
Yeah.
And that's just a great guy to be with, honestly. So you want to go first and then talk about Vogus and Mikey after? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go first. I am going to go with Mandy Rose. Mm-hmm. My thought process here is, first off, Mandy already got her hair cut a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna just go completely bald with her, I mean we already saw a little bit cut off. We're good. Yeah. We'll check out the soccer mom look for now. I also think that Sonya still won't lose anything by losing to Mandy Rose. I can't tell you the last time that Mandy Rose had a big win in a wrestling match. I mean, same thing goes for Sonya, but to me it makes more sense, and I think it would fit Sonya's character more if she was bald. That gives her that dark feel to her, and I think it could elevate her even more. So I'm just going with the feel-good moment here. I think Mandy Rose gets her revenge, as does Mikey Wilson and Ryan Vogus. Are you going to make this a complete sweep?
This is a complete sweep. Mandy Rose wins by a handful.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Of hair.
Oh, okay. All right, I get it.
It's a hair versus hair match.
It's a little bit.
You have to win by cutting the other one's hair off. So.
When I recorded with a work in progress earlier this week, we were talking about me and Erica having a hair versus hair match, and I go, that wouldn't be fair. I don't have much hair.
Yeah. Her job is significantly harder.
Yeah, I'll go over.
You could win 2 feet away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all. We're done. We'll see you. So, yeah. But that being said, Mandy Rose is a clean sweep here to go over Sonya Deville at SummerSlam.
And that's if the match happens. The match may not happen. Sonya Deville had the scare with an intruder. Who was the guest in her apartment? Mandy Rose.
Really?
Mandy Rose spent the night. Mandy Rose spent the night at her house. She got a DM on Instagram from the dude or from someone at midnight saying, "Look outside, baby, I'm here." Mandy Rose spent the night at her house. Sonya Deville's alarm goes off. She checks to see what door has been opened. Runs to the room that Mandy Rose is in. Lets her know. And they were able to. She saw the guy face to face in her house.
That's frightening.
pepper spray.
She used pepper spray?
No, he was trying. The plan was for him to, from previous later statements, he was going to pepper spray her, subdue her. There were talks about killing whoever was in the house and keeping her hostage, so she missed. So it's a very tumultuous situation.
It's going to be traumatizing.
Yes. So this may not happen. Would totally not be surprised. It could also happen because they want to get their mind off of it.
I couldn't imagine just like waking up and seeing another human in my place.
And you got to think, Sonya Deville being a WWE superstar, how many unfiltered DMs does she get from people that she also doesn't follow back?
Yeah.
So they're on this dude's case. He's dead in the water.
I'd send him to jail forever. What a tool bag.
It's tough, women in professional wrestling. You saw WWE come out with a stance on you're not allowed to touch female wrestlers when you take pictures with them.
The whole speaking out movement too.
A great idea. Why is Becky Lynch standing in a prom pose with whatever big boy behind?
I've seen that. Yeah, no, that's
no.
It's much harder to be a female in professional wrestling than it is to be a man.
Absolutely.
So I didn't know that whole situation, so that kind of was a refresher for me right there.
If the match happens, I think we all think Mandy Rose will continue with her hair and win. So.
Yes, and I think once again Sonya would look good bald. I think it would fit her character very well.
Yeah.
So next matchup here is between Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins. This is going to be a street fight. And I tell you what, I really like the way we have gone about this feud. It started with Rey Mysterio, obviously, and then Dominic gets involved, and then Dominic took an ass whooping 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, that was brutal.
It was like he was getting jumped into a gang.
Like, and I know we know wrestling is fake, scripted.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like that
Simulated combat is what I'd like to call it, like Effie from who will be fighting on the Black Label show this weekend. Simulated combat. There was very few simulated feelings from those kendo stick shots.
You can't fake a kendo stick to bare skin.
No, because you have to hear it. That's a part of the allure of using the kendo stick is the clap.
And then afterwards, you see the aftermath on Instagram and Twitter, and they're sharing it. I'm like, damn, he earned his stripes right there just then and now. But talk about a first matchup. You're going against one of the best in the past decades, Seth Rollins. I think this one's a little difficult to pick, but I'm going to let you go first here. Street fight stipulation makes it a little bit more interesting, I think.
And the thing that has me on the fence was how much they abused him last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I am up in the air. I think Rollins needs to win more than Mysterio does. And for that reason, I am picking Seth Rollins in this matchup. Mikey is definitely picking Dominic Mysterio.
No.
Really?
No. Mikey Wilson and Ryan Vogus, once again, on the same page, going with the Messiah, Seth Rollins.
Now, you're in a tough spot here because here's a way that you can steal a point.
Where do you think I'm going?
I think you're going Seth Rollins as well.
I am going with the man that I was going to go with no matter what when I saw your guys' predictions, and that man is Dominic Mysterio.
Wow.
And here's why. It's a street fight.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything goes. We have Payback in 1 week after SummerSlam. Keep that in the back of your mind. Rey Mysterio is still a part of WWE. I think we're setting up Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus Murphy and Rollins in a tag match at Payback. The only way to get to that point is with a win by Dominic Mysterio. I think Rey is going to assist somewhat in this one, but I think Dominic's going to go over big. Like you said, he took that ass whooping 2 weeks ago. I think they're going to reward him here. Your first win in WWE, your first match against Seth Rollins. Big time win. Big time win.
Whoever wins the SummerSlam belt only gets to keep it for a week or what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Payback counts.
Mikey's going to win this week.
Mikey Wilson, if there's any week to win, this is your week.
Yes. That's a Wilson win right there.
If I win it, I'm taking a picture with the belt every single day in a different way.
He will. Mikey would do that too. He'll make a freaking calendar out of it.
Yeah, he did that in fantasy football, didn't he?
Hate him. Drafts on Saturday.
That
we'll see
guy stinks.
Yeah.
My draft order is Saturday. My draft is the following Saturday. So you guys do it a little early.
Yeah, usually.
It's going to be
weird.
weird.
Love to have you, though, if you want to eat, bro. Food's going to be good.
What, this Saturday?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Oh, I got Takeover. We got wiffle ball.
We go at 11.
We got wiffle ball.
You don't.
Well, I do. I'm calling. I like the
that's
broadcast.
a you problem.
Well, you know me. I like to get on the microphone.
I know.
Did you tune in last night to the Leroy?
I did, yeah.
Elisha did a pretty solid job. He was my color guy.
That doesn't surprise me, yes.
Yeah, he's
What's next?
Job. Next matchup, Andrade and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This feud kind of started with the whole poisoning the cup thing with Montez Ford and made him pass out. And hey, here we are. We have a match at SummerSlam. Not too fond of the feud, but should be a good match.
Yeah, I think it will be a good match.
Is it my turn to go first?
It is.
I see here Mikey Wilson and Ryan Vogus are going with the Street Profits.
Uh-huh.
I think this one's a little difficult, and I don't think it's as easy as going with or retain. I'm going to go with Andrade and Angel Garza.
Yep.
The Street Profits had a good run. It was over 100 days. It's not like they weren't given a chance with the belts, but I think Andrade and Angel Garza need it more right now. I think Zelina Vega benefits having people that have belts a part of her faction. So that being said, they could get it back. I mean, Payback is an opportunity for a lot of people to, get their titles back, and that might happen at Payback. You might see a Street Profits win in a week later from SummerSlam, but for now, I'm going with Andrade and Angel Garza. What about you?
I actually have that picked as well because I do think it's time for some new champions and to mix it up a little bit. Payback being a week later does make it interesting. I think Andrade and Garza win both weeks if both matches happen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see who would step up next. Is it the Viking Raiders?
Yeah.
After that, you kind of
a
little bit of a limbo there.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But me and you, OTM's going with Andrade and Angel Garza to be the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Mikey Wilson, Ryan Vogus, on the same page so far throughout this show. Going with the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
And now things get interesting.
Let's get weird.
Introduce this next matchup we got here.
I don't see it
Universal Championship match.
Universal Championship. We've got Bray Wyatt. We've got The Fiend.
Fiend.
Versus Braun Strowman. Spooky boy.
Spooky.
The Thunderdome. Dick slap. I don't know.
Are you trying to hype up this match?
Yeah.
Okay. You get to go first, too. So lucky you. Universal Championship match. Braun Strowman, The Fiend, Alexa Bliss.
No.
Alexa Bliss going to get involved, Tucky. You got to think. You got to think.
Yeah.
A little bit wrinkle in there.
What did Vogus and Mikey go with?
They went with The Fiend.
Yeah. That's a good pick because he's The Fiend and he's people like him.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Yeah.
Character is kind of okay.
If I was going on merch, I would pick The Fiend.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Are you going with The Fiend?
No, I'm going with Braun Strowman.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. What's your thought process behind that?
I still don't think The Fiend needs it. And I want Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss to have tiny babies.
Would the babies be tiny, though?
Big beard, tiny babies.
Big bearded, tiny babies from Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're going with The Fiend,
I'm going with The Fiend.
I might flip.
No, you can't.
No,
everybody here saw that.
No.
Everybody listening heard it. What is your argument now?
Everybody flips often.
Come
It's not. I'm sticking with it. I'm already winning compared to all my picks.
Okay, cool.
I'm undefeated here. I can take this one as a loss.
Okay.
Until championship matches count for 2 points. Thoughts?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate the idea.
Strowman will overcome.
Maybe.
I'm captain of the Strowman Express. Choo choo, motherfucker.
I'm going with The Fiend because Braun Strowman. Let's be honest, his title run has been shit.
And this is where it really turns the corner.
That's a big thing too. Is he hasn't had like a good win.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had that cinematic match with Bray Wyatt. He faced John Morrison and The Miz. Like they had no direction going on until we got to The Fiend.
Yep.
And another reason I like The Fiend is eventually, I don't know when this may be, but Roman Reigns has to come back.
You hope.
I mean, he doesn't have to. I should reword that.
Yeah. No,
he may come back.
There is a strong insistence from WWE that they need to get him back.
You could tell that they wanted Braun Strowman to be that babyface guy like Roman Reigns was, the guy that brings in the viewers. I just don't think he can be that.
Well, after he beats The Fiend, he can.
That's very true. This win over The Fiend would do a lot for him, but I also think it ruins The Fiend.
Nope.
Unless you get Alexa Bliss involved, maybe she's Sister Abigail.
Yep.
I think Alexa Bliss definitely will get involved in some way, and that will assist The Fiend into becoming the new.
It's Beauty and the Beast, tale as old as time.
She's going to become part of the family.
I can't. Like, I like my pick more and more the more I talk about it.
That's fine, because it's a terrible pick, and I'm with Mikey Wilson and Ryan Vogus. We're going with The Fiend, hurt heel, the new Universal Champion.
I will be wearing my Fiend shirt probably, because that's how I roll.
Is that the reverse juju you got going on there?
Ooh, yeah. I'm in.
That's what you're going for right there. We got 3 more matches here. The first one we're going to talk about is the one I believe will be going on first, because I believe that Bayley referenced this last week on SmackDown. The SmackDown Women's Championship match between Asuka, who won that Battle Royal to get this spot, taking on the champion, Bayley. You got to assume Sasha Banks is going to be a factor here, right? Like, she's going to get involved some way, somehow.
Yeah, does she help or hurt? That is the big question. Yeah. The two, I think the SummerSlam title comes down to these 2 picks.
Between all of us 4, you're saying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited. I hope they're not really early in the card. I hate watching a show and have the title picked, but there's not a ton of like similar picks between all of them. Cruz and MVP is a split. The only thing that we sweep all together is Mandy Rose. So there's winners and losers in each match.
I mean, we're fighting for that belt right there. That it doesn't have Ryan Vogus' name on it, but the side plate
it does have the side plate that indicates he has won it. So
yeah, for sure. So I think you went first last time.
I did.
So that means I'm up here for the SmackDown Women's Championship. They can go in a lot of directions here. There is a lot of options between these 2 Women's Championship matches. But if the SmackDown Women's title is going on first, I think Bayley wins because of Sasha. Mm-hmm. I think Sasha is going to do something to distract Asuka or get involved in some way where Bayley retains. Whether it could be DQ as well. Like if Sasha gets involved and hits Asuka, it's a DQ win for Asuka, but the belt stays on Bayley.
Yeah.
So that's something you can keep an eye on for sure. If this goes on first, I think Bayley is the smart pick. Mikey Wilson is in agreement with me. He thinks Bayley will retain, but gets hurt in this matchup against Asuka and can't be out there to help Sasha for the Raw Women's Championship.
Ooh.
That was his explanation.
I like the added detail. Does that mean Vogus is going with Asuka?
It does mean that he is. She is. I thought you were going to say that she was going with Bayley. No, he's going with Asuka in this one to become the SmackDown Women's Championship. So
I am going to punt the point to Vogus potentially. I like Bayley in this one as well. And I also think the point of contention, it's interesting because if Asuka wins the title in the first match, there's way less
likelihood.
Need for her to win the second time. It'd be cool.
Dude, I almost picked it. I almost did.
Does Vogus have Asuka winning both titles? Because that would be wild.
No. I almost did that, though. I debated it, trust me. This was the one that I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go with Bayley.
And I like Asuka in both of those matches separately, independently. The problem is you have Bayley and Sasha as a pair.
Yeah.
The thing is,
they also have that tag team championship match at Payback. That's another wrinkle you have to have in the back of your head.
And I think that's how we help really solidify the split between the 2 of them.
Bingo.
I think Bayley wins the first one. I think Asuka wins the second one against Sasha.
The Raw Women's Championship match is Asuka versus Sasha Banks. You're going with Asuka in this one. Mikey Wilson is going with Asuka in this one. Ryan Vogus going with Sasha Banks. And it's old Gagliarda. Who's he going to go with?
He's going to go with Sasha to cut the picks in half.
He's going to go with Asuka.
Okay.
Because I think, like you said, we've been talking about this for weeks now. We need to start seeing tension between the 2.
Yeah.
Because eventually, whether it be for a belt, it doesn't need to be for a belt, but we need to have that Bayley versus Sasha moment. Mm-hmm. And we got to start the cracks. And why not do it now when you have that tag team title match at Payback a week later? get the friction building again. And Sasha's notoriously known for losing Raw championships fast. So this just goes along with her reigns that she's had in the past. Sasha with another short reign. She gets frustrated, and maybe she turns at Payback. So that being said, I'm going with Asuka to regain her women's championship as well. There's, like what you said, there's a lot of different directions you can go, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's one of my biggest storylines of the night, obviously.
In this next one, the last one we're going to talk about, this is the match of the weekend that everybody is talking about, happening in the Thunderdome, brother. By the way, are you going to try to get in on SummerSlam too?
Yes.
I am too.
Depending on
I
how
can't
Friday
make
goes.
Takeover. I probably won't make Takeover.
Takeover's at Full Sail, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, good call.
Yeah.
That's true. So we can't make Takeover. But, yeah, I want to get on the SummerSlam for sure. But the main event we are assuming of SummerSlam weekend, the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, taking on the Viper, Randy Orton. And I think it's your time to go first.
Yeah.
But you can't agree with me here. There's not a better wrestler on the planet right now in 2020 than Randy Orton.
Yeah, you can. There is a conversation to be had about Beastman.
Husk!
But Randy Orton is on fire.
Yeah. He just punted Ric Flair on Monday Night Raw, sent him back home.
Thoughts on the Shawn Michaels no-sell?
That got a lot of heat.
It did.
And rightfully so. I think a veteran like that needs to sell that better.
Mm-hmm. But the other point would be him setting up in the corner for everything else to happen after, trying to get there.
Yeah, but then he came to the aid of Drew McIntyre after that too.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And there's conspiracies going on too with this. Was Shawn Michaels doing it because Randy Orton made comments about the NXT wrestlers slapping their legs?
That could be. I mean, you never know.
We don't know what's going on.
There's a ton of layers involved.
With that being said,
so
who you got and why here in the main event of Summers? Do you want me to share their picks first, or do you want to say
mine typed in?
Okay, then you can go.
Drew McIntyre will retain.
All right,
he's the best thing going.
Randy Orton's the best thing going.
Nope, he's the best champion they have. They're going to leave it on him.
I don't know.
You picked Orton?
No, I'm not. I still haven't picked.
Wrong.
I still haven't picked. Mikey Wilson actually gave an explanation to his pick, so I'll read this off. He says Orton beats Drew, possibly setting up an Orton versus Edge match for the title in the near future. Because we know Edge has been out for about 2 or 3 months. The typical injury is about 4 to 6 recovery. These guys are super athletes, so maybe he does come back sooner than we expect. He says if Edge isn't ready to go soon, that maybe he could cost Randy at Payback and Drew wins the title a week later. But he still is saying Orton no matter what here in the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The reasoning makes sense.
Well, kind of. He's wrong. So
Vogus is going with Drew McIntyre.
Okay, so I feel better about that.
And I have not decided until this very second. I told myself I am not going to pick until we get to the recording.
Erica AWI Pod just joined again for the 17th time on this stream. I wonder who she's picking between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton.
Hey, we will probably find out tomorrow night. They're going live as well on Twitter at AWI Pod. Yeah,
okay, so she doesn't have to give a spoiler.
Yeah, don't give a spoiler.
Tune into that tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, because they've been showing us some love, so we'll show them some love.
My
for
apologies,
sure.
Erica.
The winner of the main event of SummerSlam 2020 is going to be the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre.
You puss.
Why does that make me a puss? It's honestly not what I want. I want Randy Orton to win.
So do you want me to?
No, that's not.
I'm just asking.
I'm not picking Randy Orton, even though I would not be surprised by any means if he wins this matchup. Because like I said, what he's doing, nobody can touch it right now. Not even the heel work that MJF's doing on AEW compares to what Randy Orton has been doing. With that being said, Drew McIntyre deserves a moment in front of the crowd. I don't know when that crowd is getting there.
Yeah.
Whether that crowd satisfaction be the Thunderdome? Maybe. I don't know.
No.
I also don't know when the fans are going to come back, so it makes me think, why not just go to Randy?
It's tough.
I'm not going to be a flip-flopper. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with it. I don't feel good about it because Mikey's situation makes sense, too. There's a payback pay-per-view coming, so... And like we referenced at the beginning of the show, the chase for a babyface is much more enjoyable than the heel chasing the babyface. So I'm going with Drew McIntyre. You're going with Drew McIntyre, as is Ryan Vogus. And Mikey Wilson is going with Randy Orton to become the new WWE champion at SummerSlam. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We went up and down the card for NXT TakeOver. We went down the card for SummerSlam. If you're still watching us live on Twitter, you can throw us some questions our way, and we're going to kind of blab on here for a little bit more. But overall excitement level for this weekend of wrestling.
I'm pretty excited. Excited. There's a lot of different layers to it from the NXT side, the Adam Cole thing, ladder match. I think there's going to be good matches on both cards. Fiend, Strowman, the Asuka, Bayley, Sasha.
That dynamic is so interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good to come out of this weekend.
And that's what makes wrestling fun. I hate when it's predictable. I hate when you go into a pay-per-view and you have a good feeling about every single match. I want to be on the edge of my seat half the time where I don't know who's going to win. That's where you get that natural pop when you're sitting and watching a show at home. That's what I want to experience this weekend. I'm very intrigued to see how this Thunderdome dynamic is going to impact these shows here this week, and I'm very excited for the potential OTM takeover of SmackDown tomorrow is looming.
Yeah. It'll be cool.
It would be.
I don't know where to put my computer.
I have a very tough question for you from one of the listeners, Ryan Bogus.
Uh-huh.
Why is Tuck so cute?
Well, I think a lot of it, it's how my parents raised me. You know, honestly, you come from humble beginnings, and you just wake up and you just go to work and you work hard. You treat people the right way, and I think that does impact your level of cute.
You can be cute all you want. Mm-hmm. You could be good on the microphone, which you are. You're okay.
100%.
You're not great, but you're good.
I'm absolutely.
But you see
plausible.
This thing right here on this left shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
You see this thing right in front of your camera on Twitter?
Yep.
I am the NXT champion. I am Mr. Wednesday Night.
Didn't buy the title until you won it, so that's kind of a punk move.
That's what MVP did. Oh, no, he didn't win it.
Yeah, so, okay.
I'm just saying, just get a look while you can. Actually, not while you can, because this is all the view you're going to have right here.
That's all mine this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Two Belt Tucky is
Ryan
on.
Bogus, here. This is yours. We're going to put it in the middle now.
Nobody can hear you on the mic that you're saying, but that's fine.
That's fine. We're at the end of the podcast. Most of the people are tuning out by now that are listening on the audio form, which I know my boy at Fight Mission, Michael, is listening to us. He said he couldn't make it for the live stream, but he did say he was going to listen to us. So
good.
Shout out to him. Anything else,
Michael,
Tucky?
man. No, life is good. I'm really excited to take home both belts. I'm trying to think of where I'm going to put both of them in the man cave. It's just going to be a lot of fun,
There's a zero chance.
As long as Mikey doesn't win. Vogus was even a humble winner, which made me a little bit nervous. If you win or Mikey wins, the title that I've paid for and I'm the landlord of, that Vogus is currently renting, I'm in trouble.
Well, that's good, though, that we have two natural heels in our picks. Vogus is kind of a tweener.
Vogus and I would destroy the two of you in a tag team match, so I don't think that's...
Oh, yeah, probably.
I don't think that's much of a debate.
Well, it depends who's being booked to go over, brother.
Baby faces.
When will Erica be invited on the podcast, Ryan Vogus asked. We've never done a Skype podcast before.
I think we can.
Do we have the capabilities of doing so?
I think we can do that. Yeah, there's been this flirty, fun chemistry between Erica and Ryan in the chat. I ship it personally. I'm married, so Erica's obviously maybe gravitated towards me.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm happily married. So Vogus, wonderful guy, Husk.
He's also a champion like me, so I mean I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If he didn't have a belt, I'd say maybe not. So,
yeah.
But yeah, champions deserve love too. So that's all I'm going to say to close out this show.
Visit OTSportsNetwork.com and follow the Overtime Sports Network on Twitter @_OTSN. Make sure you follow us on Twitter @PodOnTheMark. Dude, review the podcast for once.
Yeah, stop being an asshole and review it on iTunes.
Oh,
I'm looking in the camera. I don't know.
Strong. Wow.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
You can go to Spotify. You can't do reviews, can you?
Yeah, give us 10 thumbs up.
There you go.
And until next time, till next week, Do we have a Payback preview show coming up next week, I guess?
Yeah, we're going to have to. And then 2 weeks after that, All Out.
Boom!
We got some previews and predictions coming your way.
Your way. Thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark Podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for an F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pod on the Mark.
Pod on the Mark.